has edited the English version of oral history. Thank you, ma'am. This is Krishna Veni, also. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Vanakkam. Distinguished guests, dear mothers and children, it's a great honor and pleasure to be here with you on this very special occasion. I would like to express my heartfelt congratulations to the SOS Children's Village, Chennai, on reaching this important milestone on your 40th anniversary. Looking around, I'm humbly reminded that this success has been made possible by the outstanding work that each of you do every day. It is truly wonderful to meet the people who have made and brought up successfully so many children. Yesterday somebody mentioned 27 plus, so I had a challenge to bring up 3, and 27, wow, congratulations. And all of you who today stand testimony to the relentless efforts that SOS mothers, parents, and co-workers put in with unconditional commitment, dedication, and love. With SOS Children's Village Chennai receiving the Best Child Care Institution Award 2017, it is clear that your contributions have not gone unnoticed. At the heart of what we do is the trust that we build through our work. With the introduction of our SOS Care Promise in 2018, we are reminded of the need for an uncompromising commitment to quality at the highest level across all programs. As we continue to realize our Strategy 2030 to support the achievement of the Sustainable Developmental Goals, it is this SOS Care Promise that becomes the foundation of our work. Our SOS Care Promise ensures consistent quality around the world, regardless of the highly diverse and often challenging environments. This is how our children will receive the right support and care in order to flourish and fully realize their potential. This is our SOS Care Effect. And this care effect plays a central role in the lives of children and youth, since the challenges that they have to face nowadays are as manifold as they are complex. A key element in ensuring that they will be able to become self-sufficient and independent is youth employability through global initiatives, such as the joint cross-sectoral global initiative with UNICEF, Generation Unlimited, or as they say nowadays, I'm from the last millennium, Gen U, to make sure that every youth by 2030 is either gainfully employed in training or education. And also through our program Youth Can, for example, SOS and our partners jointly create uplifting and exciting opportunities for young people that strengthen their employability potential. These opportunities enable them not only to gain the relevant experience, skills and knowledge, but also to build their confidence as they step into the world independently. Youth Can inspires, consults and supports SOS member associations and their partners, be it corporates, entrepreneurs, small businesses, NGOs, or similar alliances to replicate, to leverage, and to further develop already existing employability partnerships at all levels, be it at national or global levels. We are also grateful for our various global partnerships that aim to improve the overall situation for children and youth in our target group, such as the Joining Forces initiative with the other 5 largest child-focused agencies, or the Global Partnership on Ending Violence Against Children. The exceptional work being done in our programs and through these global partnerships complement each other and support our efforts to build a better future for the children in our care. In order to be a catalyst for change and to reach more children, we need to continue to raise as much funds as possible locally. SOS Children's Villages India has done a fantastic job, and we are confident, together with our donors, that you will continue to do this. Thank you to each of you. You have, in many ways and different capacities, given your time, resources, and energy in order to come that far. SOS Children's Villages International has been supporting SOS Children's Villages India for the last 54 years, and it is heartening to see the impressive work that has been done. It is evident that SOS India is well advanced on its path to sustainability. So congratulations once again. It is indeed a very proud moment for all of you, for us as a global organization, and I'm honored to be part of this celebration today. Nandri.
Personally, it's a personal occasion that I have returned. I try to come back as often to Tambaram as I can, for no other reason than to sleep. You know, it's very important when you are traveling and going different places that you have some place which you can go, rest, and reflect. And Tambaram is one of those places which is a symbol of commitment. Very few people know that Mrs. Narayanan was entrusted this responsibility by her grandfather to do something for children, and she, supported by Valli, Mrs. Alagappan, made this a reality. And that is what SOS is all about, to fulfill a commitment which we make. You make a promise to a child that I will make a family for you, and you have to try this every day to fulfill this commitment. And that's what the story of SOS Children's Villages is. Our founder, Dr. Norbert Meder, after the Second War, came up with this idea to create a family for children who had lost everything, and that this family should be as close as it is possible to a natural biological family. It's not possible to replicate it, but try and get close to it, because every child deserves to be brought up in a normal family environment. Don't take it away from this child. And this is what he wanted to try. And I'm one of the few people left of that generation who had opportunity to talk to him. And his idea was that Europe is changing, there will be peace, everybody's tired of war and fighting, and he will make this one children's village and then maybe another one, and the world will be at peace. Many of us thought that. Unfortunately, that brilliant idea that there will be peace in the world never realized. Many other things happened. Today, SOS Children's Villages family is in 135 countries and territories around the world. Some of them are extremely difficult places to work, not like Madras or Chennai, which are much, except the traffic in Chennai, this is much easier to work. People are more receptive, people are more open, but there are places which are very difficult. UNICEF estimates, let's say guest estimates, there are over 220 million children. To Indians, that doesn't sound a very big number. We are 1.2 billion, so what is 220 million? But to some parts of the world, 220 million is a very large number of children who need help. And out of this 220 million, it is anticipated that 1/10 of them had no idea who their parents are. So it's a small number, you may say, 20 million. As the world goes by, and nobody cares for this 20 million, because we are 7 billion people. But to us, in SOS Children's Villages, 20 million is by far too large a number. We want this number to come down, because every child is somebody who's special. Is somebody special. You meet the 3 girls now. I still remember coming from Vijayawada. I would not say it was a rickety van. Karthik made the van, so please don't say it was rickety. It was perfectly fine van. The road was very, very bad. Okay. So we came and we had 3 of them. And today they sit with you and you can see them. What can be done if people make a commitment? If people are willing to give a little bit. I'm not asking too much. I know you will never give me too much. Just want a little bit from you. A little money, a little time, a little energy, a little support. You give a little bit, somebody else gives a little bit, somebody else gives a little bit, then you can have a huge pot and you can do something. Not only in the international, but in India. I'm very sorry, by birth I'm an Indian, and there was this fight going on in the morning. So I said I have lost my nationality long ago, apart from carrying an Indian passport. In India, we are very proud of talking about family systems. We are very proud of an extended family systems. We talk a lot about Indian culture, and now lately we talk a lot about Indian economy and the fastest growth rate in the world. We talk a lot about these things. But sometimes you have to sit down and reflect a little bit. There are still 400 million children, 400 million people in this country who live below the poverty line, and over 200 million people who live below extreme poverty line. When I meet my colleagues around the world, I feel embarrassed and ashamed at times. And I think it is time that in India, our government and our people learn that how we will take care of our own people, our vulnerable section of society. After all, society is known by how it treats its weakest section of people. Society is not known by its rich people, because they are far and few. But those who suffer are a huge number. And that's what we have. So I would like to appeal to you, and I want to appeal especially to the elder generation, I count myself in them now, to find the younger generation. We have done it for 70 years. We have done it in India for 54 years. We have done it in Chennai for 40 years. But you can't do it forever. You can't do it forever because you are not going to live forever. You will not have the energy to do this forever. And the important thing is to find a next generation which will do this and will do a better job than what we have done. And that's what I want to appeal to you. Find the next generation which will do this much better than what we have done, and hopefully one day we will reach a situation where there will be no need for them to come to a children's village. I thank you very much, and on a very personal note, I would also like to recall some of the people who helped me personally when I lived in Chennai for a couple of years. Mrs. Narayanan has mentioned Muthu Krishnan, and I remember him very fondly. I very especially remember her husband Karthik with his fascinating sense of humor, and he had a very great repertoire of jokes, which sometimes he didn't crack in front of her. This also I must tell you. He cracked only those jokes in front of Muthu and I don't know why I was a privy to those jokes, because maybe I was an outsider, not from Tamil Nadu. But great sense of humor, and the support which I received personally during those years. I had best of my time in Tamram. I had the worst of my time in Tamram. I almost died in Tamram of malaria, and I think she got very, very scared, and she picked me up and dumped me in a hospital very quickly because she didn't want to answer to my parents what had she done with their son. But I had a great time. I enjoyed myself, and very important, I learned from our mothers in Tamram what it means to be a guardian. What it means to be a guardian, what it means to give your commitment and promise. So let us promise that we will continue to do this. Let us promise that we will do whatever little bit we can so that we have a generation which is better than what we had. I thank you very much. Thank you.
I think that three girls who came in here is really nice, and Valanbati, I think it's very nice to see you also. And ladies and gentlemen and people sitting here, a good evening to you. My heartiest congratulations to SOS Chhatnath Homes on its 40 years of very successful experience, and 40 years in a life I think is very small if you look at it in the larger sense. We talk about 100 years and many more years, and I'm sure they will have many more years of things, whether we are all alive or not, but I think the organization will continue to bring up children. Actually, I didn't know that I got to speak. I think Kumar Narayan told me that I had to release the book and sit up, and I thought that's my job, it's over. But he said I'm going to speak also. And what I will do is I'll use this opportunity to give some idea about what is covered in this book, and I just browse through the book. It's an excellent book, and I'm sure many of you will pick it up in case it's being distributed today or otherwise. It got stories of our mothers and children. It's an oral history as they talk about it. And they've interviewed mothers to share their experiences of what they've gone through in this SOS Chhatnath Homes. There are some children who have talked about their experiences. It's amazing. There's one story which talks about the mother Kamala who brought up children, and one Radha Krishnan, the story is also covered here, and how she took care of him, the boy who had nothing in his life, and he came in and he was really suffering, thought may not kind of pull through for many years, was brought up by that lady. And when she retired, she handed over Radha Krishnan to another mother, Kumari. She is a Telugu speaking mother, whereas the mother who brought him up was a Tamil speaking mother. Tremendous trauma. You can imagine a child changing a mother. We all talk about coming in a family with one mother, and here is a situation where there's a mother changing, and he realized that what is going to happen? Am I going to have a normal life? Am I going to have a problem? But it so happened that he got into the family in a very nice manner, and he was very happy. And today he says about two mothers. And the beauty is the same Radha Krishnan, after some years when his mother Kumari retired and the new one coming in, he facilitated his other brothers and sisters to say that this will be a good experience for you, and the new mother will be equivalent to the other mother that was taking care of you. And that is SOS for you. It doesn't matter. They are not biological mothers. These mothers bring up their children as their own children. And there are mothers who have shared their experience where they have all come from traumatic experiences. Some of them would have got divorced very early. Some of them could have had different kind of experiences. With their trauma, when they come and bring up children who also come with the trauma and make them live and make them good citizens of this world, I think it's a great experience. When I go to the villages, I meet mothers, go talk to them, some of them in Chennai, I met them. I ask them, how many children do you have? I ask them, how many children do you have? They tell me I've brought up 30 children, 27 children, 28 children. And I see the smile on their face and my day is made. And that's the kind of passion they have for the children. We just met Meenakshi, who came here. She is the daughter of the first mother, Amudamma, here. She is no more. And she brought up a boy, Arjun. And the Arjun story I keep telling to many people is a very unique story. When the boy came into the village, he had some physical problem, a disability. And the doctors have pronounced that he will not survive more than 10 years. They said 5 years, max 10 years he will live. This lady, Amudamma, who's no more, but he said, no, I want to make him live. Allopathic medicines didn't help, allopathic treatment didn't help. And then she took upon herself to say, I will now give him Siddha treatment. Every day she will carry this boy to a doctor who is far away. So Siddha Vaidya gave Siddha medicines. And ultimately that boy is alive, not only alive, he studied and graduation. At least today I heard that till post-graduation, he is working somewhere. And it so happens that she had written in her will that he will be the one who will do my final rites. And the kind of flat that he bought, she gave it to Meenakshi and Arjun. And both of them live that house. Arjun is married today with a child. That is the affection, that is the emotional involvement these mothers have with children. They are brought up and made children live through their life who have been given up by best of doctors that they can't survive. And that's SOS for you. But what I will do is, that's all covered in this book, and I think when you read, you'll get stories and stories. There are quite a few of them. But just talking about the stories, not even, I thought I'll give you a little more background about SOS as an organization. Both Mr. Norbert Meder and Siddhartha Kaul have given you some background about what we do, for the commitment that the mothers have, the way we bring up our children. But I think it's a little more than just that, because I think one is at the villages that we have these locations. We talked about 135 countries and more than 500 villages that we have got. India is the single largest country operation in the SOS world. We have 32 villages in 22 states, taking care of 27,000 children in broadly 2 different kinds of programs. The family-based care they talked about is the one we call family-like care, where these villages we have 15, 20 homes. In each home there is a mother, and a mother looks after 8 to 10 children. We all know to bring up 1 child, 2 children in family is so difficult. These mothers toil day in and day out, 25/7, bring up 8 to 10 children. Give them education, give them life, take care of their nutrition, send them to school and colleges, and ultimately get employment. This is an area where we have 7,000 children in these 32 villages. Then we have a family strengthening program, which is a preventive program. Around our villages, we take a few clusters where we identify families who are extremely poor. Their income levels are so low that they cannot take care of the family. The children are very vulnerable. So we ensure that these children are given health care, given nutritional needs in their education. Then for the families, we provide them vocational training or any other means of self-help group, give them loan to give them a sustainable income level. And I'm happy to share with you over the last 3-4 years in India, we have increased their income by 3 to 4 times from what they were earning, so that these families reach a sustainable level, so that children are not abandoned. So it's a preventive program. We have about 17,000 children in this. Now, in addition to these 2, we are now experimenting or doing piloting for a kinship program, where the children go and live with their close relatives, uncles or aunts or whatever. And we are trying to see whether that could help, because ultimately for children it's good to be in a proper family. So we are trying to bring that up as a family program. I think what Mr. Siddhartha Kaul said is very important, and I want to leave the thought with you. We have been successful in India by increasing the number of donors and contributions we get from the corporates to a significant level. That's not enough. The entire Europe is saying India is doing well, growing faster, so why can't you support yourself? Why do you need money from Europe? We have reached a level where our dependence has come down, but still we are getting money from Europe. So one of our targets for the India operations is to become totally self-sufficient. We are looking at in 2020, 2021, we should have 100% of our money requirement bring up from within the country. And I'm sure a lot of people say, hey, you will spread things, use. But unfortunately, though we have been there for the last 54 years in India, 98% of the people I meet don't know about the organization. I sit on a flight, next neighbor I talk to, give my card, is my social card, SOS. They say, what do you do? Then I start explaining to them. Next half an hour on the flight, he is bored to death. I keep giving him complete stories. I share about 20 different children's stories because I meet a lot of these children, youth settled in life, and I give them the stories, talk about people like the Arjuns and the Meenakshis and others. And then they go, oh my God, is that so? Then I invite them to visit the village, then they start supporting. We have been able to add a lot of donors. We've got 40,000 individual donors today. We have got a lot of corporates who become members. So my appeal is we need to increase that number to such a large extent that we are self-reliant over the next couple of years. And I'm sure all of you will spread the message. I think my point is, it's not enough to give money, but talk about it. Talk to people about what we do. Invite them to our villages. Make them visit what we do. See what we do. If people go and see what we do, they get transformed. Totally they get transformed. They say, oh my God, is that what you do? They don't know. Many of them don't know. Even yesterday I met one lady who is running a Rajarishmi Engineering College. Yesterday I met her in the gym, the Global Investor Meet. I gave her my card, she looked at it and said, what do you do? So I explained to her what it is. Oh, that's interesting. Yesterday I sent her an email in the night. Today she has responded, my God, this is very good. I went to your website. I want to visit your village. He has put in touch with her son. So she is going to now start going there. Her education institution, she can help us in terms of skill building and education and so on. So that's the kind of thing about SOS. I've given you a broad brief of what we do. Thank you very much. Once again, congratulations to SOS Chhatnath Homes for the 40 years and many more years to come. Thank you very much.
The joy of giving back. And as I said, if they give a few rupees, and if they are earning maybe a low income, but still giving some part of that, is to my mind an extremely noble way of reminding ourselves that there is no difference between a giver and a receiver. It's all very transient. I was in a school some weeks ago in Tirupati, which one of the schools that I support. And this is a school, by the way, it's a private school, where 80% of the parents have less than 7,000 rupees per month in terms of remuneration. And nearly 35% are single parent. And I was there on that day when I was going through the records. The teacher in charge of one of the class came to say that we would like you to come out and receive something, some donation. So I was quite flabbergasted with this. So who would come and give a donation to the school, and why would this happen this way? When I went out, there was a lady who I later understood was someone who had a couple of cows and a single mother whose child was there. And she had brought in 5 liters of milk because one of the children, not her child, one of the children had a birthday that day. And I was completely blown. The value of that kind of gesture, I think, is enormous. So I believe that that is the spirit of giving that we're celebrating. The manner in which the giver and the receiver are part of the same system, and the fact that there can be so much of empathy, I think is something which is, to my mind, a spirit that we need to celebrate. I'm not surprised, therefore, that we have crossed this 40 years of this wonderful journey, because it is founded on some foundations of some extraordinary values, and those are the values that we're celebrating. We shouldn't forget these values, because these values, these anchors of these values will take us for another 40 years, another 100 years, because the problem is not going to go away. No matter what, you will have the 200 million, and the next generation will still have 250 million. And if they can't do what we can do in one lifetime, if we can't do what we're capable of doing, then I think we have let ourselves down very badly. And I'm sure that this is an institution that will remind everyone that they have no choice but to do what they have to do and what they can do. Thank you very much.